Hey, welcome back in the huddle. Scott over here. We're ready to go over everything in week 5 and all the heartbreak from week 4. How's your week going?
My week is going well,
Yeah,
Salute.
you had a lot of good wins, so I can't you're probably in a good place.
Yeah, I can't, ironically, being in first place, usually you look down on people, but I'm humble.
Since
I'm
when?
humble. Since Mario said that I was going to be in the bottom three.
Damn. So I guess
And
when we bring Mario back for that, it's gonna be a lot of debate, a lot of arguing for
especially
who
when
go.
you lose to a nigga that we call a bye week, who just had the worst trade in fantasy history.
It wasn't too bad for him. It worked out well
And
for him. The
did it work out
math
for
was
you?
mathing for him.
Did it work out for you?
The trade worked out for me, yeah, because
You
as
not
long
playing
as
me.
huh?
As
Yeah,
long as you not playing me.
as long as CD outperforms Olave, then I'm good on my end, and he did. But losing Rasheed Rice, of course, was a bad part.
So let's get into that though. I don't think he's going to be out for the entire season. They said that um, they're not fearing the worst anymore and they're getting more tests. I think he's going to be out for fantasy wise, probably for the rest of the season though.
So I think he's going to be out the whole season. I heard some rumors though. I heard a rumor that the Chiefs don't want to rule him out yet because if he gets suspended, his suspension
Oh, it'll
can't
go into
start
the
until he's
time.
active.
Yeah,
Which I think is some BS, but I thought it was funny that I heard that. But I tell you what, boy, I was out all afternoon,
same.
early afternoon. Came back home around like 4. Finally sat down, turned the TV on, ready to watch the 4 o'clock games. A few minutes in, he gets hurt, and I turned the TV off. I went upstairs and did laundry. I was done. I was done for the rest of the day. I was so hurt. He was leading the
Yeah.
league in points up to that point. He was a steal of the draft at that point.
And what's crazy is I was not watching the games either. I was at Epcot at Disney World and I
True.
saw that you text me and Nico absolutely went off.
He was balling.
And I just knew from the Thursday night game when CD was going off and it helped Dak, I was like, it's going to be that kind of weekend for me. I just know it. I didn't think Rice was going to get hurt, though. Once I saw that, I was like,
Yeah.
damn, I know you pissed.
Yeah. I mean, so she Rice got hurt. CD had a good first like few drives, and then he was real quiet the rest of the game. And then Singletary just threw up a dud when he should have been like a, a great start for him against the Cowboys. He just did nothing under the Cowboys, but who did he play? I forgot who he played. But he had it was a great spot for him, and he didn't do nothing for me at all. And that really hurt, it really hurt me.
I mean, I hate Singletary, bro. Like, this man was wearing no gloves and he, like, fumbles all the time. Like, come on, bro. I hate this dude, bro. But what do you think about this Devontae Adams situation?
So, I think the writing was on the wall for a while now. I think he was trying to be humble about it and leave it alone and not be in the camera and the media, but we knew he wasn't happy.
I mean, you
But
can blame that on Netflix. I feel like if they never did the receivers doc, he would have requested a trade last year.
yeah, yeah.
So
See, where does he go though? Where does he land?
the Chiefs are out.
Yeah,
The Steelers are out, even though they want him. I don't think he'll go to the Steelers. Um, the Saints and Jets, number one and number two. I,
that's
I
not.
hope.
See, that's not
I
true
don't.
though,
I don't think he goes to either of those teams.
I don't think so either
I
because
think.
he wants to go there, but it's not his choice.
Mhm.
He's gonna have a no trade clause.
Right.
So they're gonna put him anywhere where the value's at. Now I don't
Well,
think they're gonna get a second round pick unless they plan on eating some of that money because he's getting
which
paid.
they have the money to do that though,
Who
to
does?
eat that deck. The Raiders,
Well, yeah,
they
but
got
will
the
they
money to
though?
eat that.
Will they? I mean, they have to. They get a second round pick back and
Yeah,
plus more pieces. They're gonna have to eat like half that salary.
yeah. So like, it's either that or he stays, and I don't think he stays.
I think Steelers is an interesting choice. I think that because they won the IU, so they know they in the they're in the business now to get a receiver, so they're willing
Yep.
to put money up for it. You know where I think it'd be really fun for him to go that will never happen? The Bills. If he goes to the Bills, and they could use a receiver over there.
Ooh, the Ravens put a ass whooping on them. They need a receiver bad.
Yeah, that would be a fun spot for him to go to. But Lauren's fantasies and go to a team that already has a receiver number one over there. Still gonna be splitting receptions, and both of them will get no value. So I don't have any shares of Devontae Adams. So to me, it doesn't really matter where he goes.
Man, I want in on that though.
I mean, I'm happy with where
If
he
you got
goes.
Devontae Adams, I'm open to it. Yeah. If you got Devontae Adams, I'm looking to get him. I got the
There we
capital
go.
for it.
You heard it here first. So let's move on here today. Let's get into our main topic here. So we had some conversations, mainly me and Ray, about trying to set up the league in a way to provide off-season trades or trading keepers, because it's not a dynasty league. I was kind of shying away from doing that because it was getting too complicated. But with us drafting offline, it leaves the ability to be able to maneuver in a way to make it work. So I was trying to think of a way to actually get that to work and then put it up to the league to see if anybody's interested in it, and then try to put it up for a vote to see if you can try it out maybe for the first year, see how it goes.
I mean,
So
I would love to do this, especially if people show up to the draft, because I think it just makes it more exciting. And also, I think it would help more people if they could actually get, value out the keepers that they have instead of just, holding on. So I don't know why we wouldn't want to do it.
So let's break it down. Let's break it down what I thought in a way we can do it, but I want to see your insights and your thoughts and see if maybe it's an easier way to do it. So we have 25 roster spots, right? And everybody keeps 3 players. So we have 22 draft picks. So in this scenario, let's say for you have Dak, right? And Dak's a first round keeper. So you would trade, I would say to you, hey, I'll give you a second round pick for Dak. So you would give me Dak, and I'll give you a second round pick. Now you will then regain your first round pick that you had to keep Dak on. So by doing so, that gives you an extra pick. So you'll have like 26 picks.
So you would lose your second round pick, and Dak would be your second round pick.
No, Dak would be my first round keeper, because he's still a first round keeper. So I will lose my first round pick and my second round pick.
Yep.
And then essentially, what would have to happen would be during the draft, I would have to draft
for
the second round for you.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the draft, manually, as a commissioner, I'll have to go through and put that person on your team. But then you would need to drop somebody because you would have 26 players. And then I will need to go to the waiver wire and get somebody else because I have an empty spot on my roster. So it's manageable. I mean, what do you think about that?
I think if we used a more friendlier platform than Yahoo, I think it would be easier. But it is manageable via Yahoo. It's just the participation point from, like, we saw how the offline draft went, especially like trading picks, and drafting for other people, and like just the whole situation going on can fuck up a draft board. But I like it just simply for the fact, like, I want to keep this player, but I want to get value out of him. Like, I don't want to drop him and go into the draft and maybe get a lesser player because somebody takes my guy, or I'm not prepared for the draft, or like, I think it just gives more options as a manager and as a person who likes to trade like myself. I think I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
Especially like when you have players. And how long has this league been going? And how long have we had people have the same keepers? So it gives a chance to move those around.
About 12, 13 years now.
Right. So it gives a chance for people who have had the same keepers for a minute to offload them and still retain value, or even get more value for them. Say I'm giving you two picks for a player, for your keeper. So like it gives more opportunity for the teams, especially um, who have guys that they don't want, but they want to keep them just simply for the value going into the next season. Or you see at the back end of the season where someone's stock rises and you're going into the off season and it's going
Hmm.
to be a big season for them. You don't have to wait for the draft or take that chance.
Yeah, I agree. In order to make this work, I would need to like move up the actual deadline for keepers and release the draft order earlier. So I would probably do that in a month in advance. I don't want to do it too early because you want to wait till at least the preseason to
Yeah.
see who you want to keep.
Who's
So I
who?
would say like instead of doing it the week before the draft, probably like late July,
Hmm.
do all that to give everybody a month to be able to maneuver around and trade before the actual draft. Um, and I think that's still feasible. I think that's something we can do. I don't mind doing that work in the back end. And it's like you said, especially because it's an offline draft, it
Hmm.
allows us to do some of this on the fly if we need to easily manage it without having to pause the draft or
Yeah.
having to deal with the clock winding down. I could simply just do right there on the spot and just drag and drop to the teams that we want to.
Hmm.
Um, and
I,
I,
I
I
I wouldn't even say like a month, like giving people a month, like put like a lot of fire into somebody's ass. Give us 2 weeks. Like if you miss out, you miss
okay,
out. Like
yeah,
because people be bullshitting. They wait till the last minute. Like, and I'm one of those people. Like I be waiting to the last minute sometimes, and that shit don't be working. And sometimes it do, but 2 weeks is, I think, a lot, enough amount of time for people to decide or try to get something going. I don't need a whole month for me
hmm
to waste half that time anyways, just to do it at the back end. And because that's what's going to happen. Everybody going to wait till the last week, put up the trades in the group chat. This is available. This keeper's available. This is going for what. So
hmm
if you have a designated 2 weeks, put your keepers in deadline. Boom. Then I think it'll have more urgency. And it'll be more populated with conversation and picks.
So with that same scenario, because if I'm doing that scenario and I'm getting Dak off of you, you're one getting back your first round draft pick. So you can draft in the first
Hmm.
round again, and then you'll have 2 picks in the second round. So in that scenario, I mean, do you think that's a fair trade? Like I'm just throwing that trade out as like an example, but like knowing that whatever you get back, you're getting back an extra pick plus the round in which you had that player kept in. So
Hmm.
you're kind of getting like 2 picks for that scenario off the top.
Hmm.
So like draft or not drafting, but like trading would be hard to do because the value is going to be so skewed because you're getting so much back. And I mean, what's the fair value for Dak? Let's just say if hypothetically, if I say, hey, let me get Dak off you for a keeper this year, what would you want in return?
Depends on what place I came in during the season, like
How you feel
off
that day?
season. Yeah, like but it's also a thing of um, I think just having the ability and then, like, of course it's like no trade is actually even at like all points, but you take a chance for the person who wants a player. How
Hmm.
bad do you want that player?
Yeah.
Like personally, I think just because of where Dak finished in the fantasy value last year, maybe he is around one. Maybe he's not number one, but he put up points. Like, I don't know if I would take him one. Probably not in the first round,
Hmm.
just simply off that. But the league is so deep. Dude's got 6 quarterbacks, so I'm not giving him up. Like, you need a
Without
high
getting back
perform.
something.
Right.
I'm
So it's
leaving here with
like
something.
essentially, so it's like the value of your team versus the league and how the league is moving, um, and what you can actually get back. Because if a dude wants a quarterback and he got 4 quarterbacks, I'm not gonna stop him. Like,
Right,
I'm
right.
worried about my team. Like, and yeah, maybe I get that extra value or I get that what looks like an extra pick, but I gave you what you wanted. So do
Yeah,
you care what I get? Like, that's what it boils down to.
yeah.
How defensive do you want to be in your trading? How offensive do you want to be in your trading? Or are you just trying to make the best trade possible all around?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the draft we had, this year, and I'm thinking like, okay, well, if I gave you if I give you Dak, if I give you a 3rd round pick for Dak, then essentially you have your 1st round pick back.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get whoever's in the 1st round. So Marvin Harrison went in the 1st round. He wasn't kept. Garrett Wilson wasn't kept. I don't think Burrow was kept neither, or CD actually. And then in the 3rd round, you can turn around and still get like Jaden Daniels or like
Right.
I don't know, Tua was kept, but like something like that. You have 2 picks in the 3rd round. So I mean, it's kind of like because the league is so deep, and you know, when keeping 3 players, so there are some gems that are still out there, like
Right.
a 3rd round pick or a 4th round pick in return. I think is a good value spot for that scenario. And I think that doing this is going to open up a whole different avenue for trades, because like this type of scenario has never really happened. Like I don't really have the historical knowledge of how a trade like this should go down, because we've never done it before. So it's going to be some very skewed trades, some very crazy emails and texts coming at you saying, "Hey, you want this trade?" You're gonna be like, "What the fuck is this?" Because nobody knows what the real value is until we actually go through a few of them, and we're like, "Wait a minute, you know that 4th round pick was valuable as shit." Instead of that, I'm gonna give him an 8th round pick next time, because you could do a lot with that 4th round pick. So
I mean, but that also goes into like just drafts in general. How deep is the incoming draft? Like, is it a receiver heavy draft? Is it a running back heavy draft? What did you like? Where did you fall last year? And record wise, and how your team performed? Were you running back heavy and you needed receivers? Were you receivers like? What are your keepers like? Do you have 2 receivers and a quarterback? 1 receiver and 2 quarterbacks? Like, how do you want to build your team? I think that goes into a lot of it. And also just seeing who's keeping who at an earlier time and being able to maneuver off of that is also key. Like, we had EJ on the pod talking about like not knowing the value of your keeper and who else everyone has. It essentially like drives how you do your draft board based on who's available, best available, trying to think not just for your team, but literally like, what is the team before me going to pick? What do they need? Like looking at that in live real time as well. So I think if you're a good manager, I think you will like it. If you're a bad manager, I think you'll like it and make bad decisions for yourself, which is fine with me. So
right.
And I don't think anybody's a bad I don't think anybody's a bad manager. I think they make bad decisions like everybody does. So
well, you know, good trades can go both ways. If the trade doesn't seem like it can go both ways, it's not really a good trade. You know, it's already lopsided. So, you know, you make a trade and it looks good on paper, and then it may not just pan out. This is how trading goes.
Right.
So I won't beat up the point too much, but I want you all to listen to this and get back to me in the group chat. Let me know how you feel about it. If enough of y'all like it, then we'll put it up for a vote, and we can try it next year, see how it goes for the first year. I think it'd be an interesting concept to introduce and to try to wrap things around. So let's let me know how you feel, and get back to me. So with that, let's go ahead and move on to these last week picks. Let's see how we did here. I think you did better than me, of course.
At least in something.
Yeah. So I picked myself against you. That was bad. The game actually really wasn't that bad. Like my team put up some decent points. It was just losing Rasheed Rice and Singletary doing absolutely nothing for me. Besides that, like I was right there.
You were.
So I mean, like I lost by like 30 or 40. I mean, I could have been right there. So
yeah, and essentially, I feel like I could have scored more. I should have been in the 300s. So
that's true. Nico was ridiculous. I couldn't do anything about that.
Thank you for that again, EJ. And also, Darnold has been hooping.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that was a clutch pickup.
So Chase beat Clarence. Both picked that. We both picked Mario over EJ. That didn't pan out. I'm sorry. Both picked EJ over Mario. No, we didn't. We picked Mario over EJ. I'm sorry.
We picked Mario over EJ.
Yeah, I was right.
And I just like, what happened? I want to know what happened. Yeah, I know AJ was out.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. Like,
It's karma. I'm telling you, man. This year is karma. It's really the fantasy gods is really like on us this year. Like you talk shit one week, next week immediately
mhm.
the next week you're gonna feel that bullshit.
And now he got Tua on IR, Thielen on IR, Cooks is out hurt,
Yeah,
AJ's out hurt, Eckler's coming off of a concussion. Mark Andrews not getting love. Isaiah Likely not getting love.
yeah.
Like it's just a rough time right now for his team. But
And I don't think
I wish
Neighbors plays neither.
yeah, concussion.
Yeah, I'm not sure
So
if Neighbors plays. So he's in a bad spot.
yeah.
Let's see who else we had. Eamon beat Quan. We both picked that, and we
Mhm.
both picked Ray over BK. So
Ray wasted a great ass game. That man had 432 to 202. God damn. Yeah, good game, Ray.
yeah, get
I
it out
think
the
that's the
way
most
now.
points anyone scored all season.
It is. Oh yeah, by far.
Yeah,
Nobody scored
so
over 400 points yet. That was the first one. So shout out to Ray.
shout out to
Yeah, go
Ray,
ahead and use
man.
that. Get that 400-point game out the
Out
way
the
now.
way.
Get
Wait.
it out the way now. I'll take that.
So I have a question. Whose team's more competitive, EJ's or BK?
Oh,
Ooh,
ooh.
a battle for the barrel.
Uh, for the season, I want to say BK because he has Burrow, he has Chase. I think he has. Doesn't he have Cup too?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has Cup in IR or he's out. So once he gets cut back, he'll be okay. And he has McBride. He's hurt, so I want to say BK is more competitive.
Okay. Okay.
But Caleb Williams is really hurting. Is really holding him back right now.
Yeah, that QB situation isn't pretty at all.
Yeah, and I think I don't think he only has 2 QBs. Am I right?
Nah, he got like 4 or 5.
He has Bryce Young, so he has 2
Yeah.
QBs though. He has Burrow. He has Bryce. He has Caleb.
Hey man, they said Bryce was gonna be okay.
I mean, physically and mentally, maybe, but he ain't playing football.
Hey, look, facts.
I mean, look, there has been some players who have resurgence in new teams, like Dalton, like Fields. So I'm not gonna say Bryce is a bad quarterback. It could just be that he was on a bad team that didn't utilize his skill set properly. So he may go somewhere else and have a good second half of his career. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, landing spot makes a big difference. It
It
does,
does.
but skill set should still show.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it makes you wonder, like Jaden Daniels, if he fell in Chicago, how good would he be doing right now? Do you think he'd be doing the same thing he's doing now, or think he'd be struggling like Caleb is?
Right.
So I mean, I don't know.
Perspective teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm not going to say he's garbage, but I don't see the way Dalton's playing right now. I don't see him coming back to them anytime soon.
Yeah. Same.
I don't see that happening. And they should go ahead and just trade him.
Yikes.
Yeah. So that puts our tally at 17-3 you, 16-4 me. So you got me by one game. But we'll turn that around this week.
Oh, okay. So let's start it off. Who you got? You and Clarence.
You know what? I'm picking Clarence. I don't like my
Mm-hmm.
matchups. I have players going against San Fran, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland this week. So I'm not too happy about that. Kyler Murray and Harrison haven't been doing what they need to be doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
I expected a lot more out of them in this point in the season. So, and I can't really say too much about Clarence. He's winning games.
Yeah.
His team on paper doesn't look that great, in my opinion, but he's winning games. So,
Yeah.
I'm
When I
gonna
look
pick
at this
him.
team, it's definitely nasty work. But I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna go with your team. Show you a little
Okay.
love this week.
Well, last time I did that, I won. So let's keep it up.
All right.
You and Eamon, I got you.
I got Eamon.
Yeah, Eamon. Why?
I want a tough bye week with My running backs. My situation is just not the greatest this week, but it's not horrible. And I can just see my guys putting up bad, like Mooney and Judy. I don't see them doing too much. Ayuk hasn't been doing shit, so I can see it. I can see me losing this game. It's a trap game.
Isn't this a Sam Darnold revenge game? Wasn't he drafted by the Jets?
Yes, he was.
So I mean, I think Sam Darnold and Nico may carry you a little bit.
Man, I'd like to think so, but we'll see. I'd like to eat my words on this one.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Chase, I got Chase over EJ.
Yeah. Same.
And I got
BK, beat Mario.
I got BK.
That's what I got. And we got to get this man on the fucking pod.
I mean, like we said, though, he just has too many injuries and too many players on bye right now. His team's just hurt. His team's not bad. It's just hurting right now this week.
For sure. And he was saying his bench was deep, so he's supposed to hold up. We're going to see, though. Yeah, I got BK winning that one. And then I got Ray winning last versus Quan.
Yeah. There's better matchups.
Yeah, just better matchups. So I don't know. I think it'll be a good week, though. I think it's closer than a lot than a lot of the numbers say.
Yeah, I mean, these bye weeks really neutralize things. So if you can get through these bye weeks, at least winning half those games, then you're in a good spot for the playoffs.
Facts. My next few weeks are kind of brutal. I got quarterbacks missing, receivers missing, 6 for the next 2 weeks, next 2 or 3 weeks. So hopefully I can squeak out one somewhere.
Yeah. Let's see how it goes. All right, so going back to our DK matchups, you almost had me this week.
Bro,
you almost had me until that last game with Geno Smith, and he went off.
Bro, that boy Geno hooping.
I stopped looking at it because I saw it earlier today. You had already won. I was like, I was done with fantasy after Rashee Rice went out. I was just really done with fantasy. DraftKings, Yahoo. I was completely done. And then Monday, I just said I was just going through fantasy just to see how things were going in terms of all the games that I lost and checking on my rosters or whatever. So you got injured. And I checked DK and saw that I had won. I didn't know I had won, and so I pulled DK up and saw that I was I was confused. I was looking at my phone like, how did I win this?
I'll never check it until Tuesday when I see that I lost.
Yeah.
Just L's, man.
But we're gonna try to turn it around this week, right?
Fuck no, man. I don't know how to. We're gonna try. I gotta make something shake. I need at least one victory.
Did you make a lineup yet?
No. There's too many injuries. I can't. I don't know who playing and who's not playing.
So I created a lineup, and but I was gonna say that because of that same point, I was gonna reserve the right to make a change later on because I had Trey Sermon in the flex, but if Taylor plays, then I'll of course change that.
And that's what ended up happening to me last week. I changed the back end of mine because niggas got hurt or they were questionable game time decisions, and I'm like, I'm not waiting for game time decisions. So I'll update the chat and let y'all know what I picked for my lineup, man.
All right. I'll just give you mine for now. You can't use my players though.
Oh, whoa. Wait a minute, bucko. I reserve the right.
I got Jordan Love, Justice Hill, Jordan Mason, Amari, Dontarian Wicks. I got Worthy, which I'm thinking might not be a good pick. Ertz, Trey Sermon in the flex, and then Seahawks defense.
That is an ugly team. I should definitely win. Let me put together a lineup to beat that.
Real quick, let me ask you though, with Rashee Rice being out, who do you think is going to be who's going to benefit more, Worthy or Kelsey?
I'm gonna go Kelsey.
Yeah, I think Kelsey as well.
I'm gonna definitely go Kelsey, but just off the simple fact, like I think teams will rather give up underneath for Kelsey than they would over the top, especially with the way the defenses have been this entire year, and like the passing in the league has been down, steadily going down for the past 4 or 5 years. Now it's two shell high defenses is just killing the passing game. So underneath is going to be open more than
Yeah, I think
anything.
Kelsey eats in those same spots where Rasheed Rice was eating at. But I do think they get a receiver, and I wouldn't be surprised if they trade for Amari,
Oh, from
because
Cleveland,
Amari
yeah,
is real cheap.
yeah,
They can afford that, and he'll make an immediate impact.
yeah, immediate. Well, we'll see,
All right,
man.
y'all. That's all we got for y'all this week. Tune in next week. We got a really good episode for y'all next week. Um, but we'll see you next time.
Good luck to your team, except when you're facing mine. We out.